Hello there, it's Lucy Forex here. It's been so long, and I'm here to talk to you about the rocket booster strategy. Now, I've been testing the rocket booster strategy, and with no success. We've been trying to test the rocket booster strategy, and without any true success. Let's see what we have here. Okay, let's see if we can add the money flow. Crosses up 0. What do we have? Nothing. Let's see what we have. So basically what we're trying to do is we're trying to come up with a system that we can use to trade options, right, on the Dow Jones. So the rocket booster strategy kind of has not worked. It did work in terms of gold. Gold is the perfect example. But instead what happened was it appeared right there on the breakout. Right? It appeared right there on the breakout. And so what happens is that it has crashed. Okay. Now the last time this happened was here. I still remember the strategy. It was, I think it was here, where it like double topped and then it just crashed. Right. Now now the challenge with the rocket booster strategy is that the challenge with the rocket booster strategy, as you can see, we saw Coca-Cola and it has crashed by I think like 5% or something. There is volatility, unfortunately. That's the way the strategy is designed. So you will find that it will appear right at the top. So like let me show you what I mean. Okay. Let's redo it. Don't save. Okay, so let me show you what I mean when I say it will appear right at the top. Okay, so this is the rocket booster strategy. Let's look at Unilever. Excuse me. Send in order. What does that mean? All right. So basically, we're looking at the rocket booster strategy and its weaknesses. Okay. So let's look at it from a weakness standpoint. Okay. So let's target the market. Let's target S&P 500. So I'm gonna show you something, and this is the main challenge with the rocket booster strategy. So you will find that most of the times, let's remove these, it is positioned at the top. Okay. Most of the times the rocket booster strategy is positioned at the top, and this is what you will find, right? So it is not a complete strategy and it is not perfect, but it doesn't mean it doesn't work. All right, so one thing you will notice about the strategy is that it always appears at the top. All right, so the excuse me, the question now comes is, when is the right time to buy. Okay, do you buy at the top or at the bottom? So for example, in this case, it appeared right here at the top, right? Then it came crashing down until it reached the buy signal somewhere here. So think of the rocket booster strategy as a forward uh, market mover. Okay, now I know that's a little bit hard to comprehend, but think of it like a market watch, market mover. Okay, so for example, it has appeared right here at the top. So this is not a good place to to buy, obviously, because the market is overbought and it has crashed. Now some people do use the rocket booster strategy to short the market, but it is not always the case. Like, remember what I said before, the supplier has to make a profit. So even though there is a 4% correction, uh, what you need to understand about this strategy is that it is going to go up. So it is not a day trading strategy. Okay, so I need to tell you that the rocket booster is not a day trading strategy. It is a 2-year long-term trading strategy. So meaning you're gonna hold this position for 2 years. Okay, that's why ideally you're not supposed to use margin with this strategy. So it's an investment strategy where you hold for 2 years, because remember, this gap confirms that money has entered this stock. All right, that's what this gap confirms. It confirms that money has entered the stock. So you're gonna hold this position for 2 years. That's why it works very, very well in markets like gold. It works very, very well, because even though there's a 2% drop, uh, you can still hold for a profit, because the rocket booster strategy appeared in gold. Okay, so it works very well for markets like gold. All right. As for Bitcoin is in a good deep buying position. If you're into Bitcoin, you can deep buy Bitcoin for yourself. So that's the weakness of the rocket booster strategy. I should have mentioned that earlier. Look at the correction. So like on average 3%. All right. So you have 3 to 4 to 5%, even 10%. So that's why you're advised not to use more than 4x margin, because if you used 4x margin, you'd be down 12% on your position. 5x margin, you'd be down by 15% on your position. That's why you need to understand risk management, and you need to account for that liquidity factor. But at the end of the day, you need to understand that this strategy is a long-term trading strategy. I'm going to show you another strategy that I do tend to favor. So this is another strategy. So you pick the Dow Jones market, then on the rating in the week, it's a strong buy. All right. So as you can see, we have a strong buy on the week. Now, even though they have both crashed by 4 or 5%, you can see there's still strong buys on the week. So again, that's why I'm saying these stocks mainly are good for long-term investing. Okay, it's not a day trading strategy as per se. So you can tell, like here, there's still a strong buy on the week despite this market crash. It is still uptrending on the week. So that this crash in the day actually confirms the strategy. So in fact, after this market correction of 3 or 5%, we should look for a chance of of entry. Okay, it's at this level that we should look for a buy entry. So another strategy that is quite popular is, remember, it has to cross up on the bear power or bull power, because we're looking for that correction. We're looking for that correction, chalking the money floor, rate of change, momentum. Okay, crosses up on the zero line on the momentum. We're not finding any correction here. You can also check on the pattern. We have a doji, long lower shadow. Okay, a hammer. Now I remember in the beginning of my trading journey, I'm going to show you a strategy that I loved using in the beginning of my trading journey. So what I would do is I would pick an index like this, like S&P 500. Then I would say exponential moving average on the day. Okay, then I would say EMA 200 EMA below price, and then I would come here on the week 50-day moving average on the day, and I would say 50 above price. So this, for me, I would interpret this as I would interpret it as stocks that are like undervalued. Okay, look at that. This is crashed by 7%. This is insane. So these are the kind of stocks that I would look for. Now, what I would do again is I would look for this, right, and then I would say okay, I would say yeah, so I would say below 0. Okay, something like that. Okay, which is all of them. Then I would say I'll use something like the RSI. Let's put that one there. Okay, then I would say something like the K should be below, let's say 30. How is that? Or I would say okay, I would say, I think the easier one was RSI. Working day. Alright, I would say 20 and below, 30 and below, 40 and below. So in this case, I would look at these right here, okay, as buying opportunities, long-term market buying opportunities. Now, here's the thing about this strategy. Sometimes it would work, sometimes it wouldn't work. But this is what I would look for. Okay. So this is what I would look for, right? This kind of a situation where it is undervalued. Now, the way it would be like sometimes it would like cross. Let me see if it says cross above. Sometimes it would keep crashing. Okay, it would keep crashing, and that's the challenge that I had. So I would find, let's say, a stock like this, right? I would find a stock just like this, but then the challenge is the stock would just keep crashing. It would keep crashing until it bypasses the 200-day moving average. So I kind of debunked the strategy at first. I was like, okay, maybe it is not a good strategy. So then I went to chart patterns. I started using things like not the bearish engulfing, like the bullish harami, bullish engulfing. I started diving deep into these patterns, and sometimes they would appear, sometimes they would not appear. So we had the doji here. Sometimes I'll just like select or okay. Okay, so these are the kind of situations that I would have. Okay, let me see if there is a way to select all of them. So select all. What do you have? Okay, so sometimes this is the strategy that I would use, right? I'll say, okay, as long as it has a candlestick pattern, then maybe it's worth its value in gold, like Kimberly Clark, for example, right? And so then I would discount those other stocks, and I would just focus on this, because what I was looking for was a dip buying opportunity, right? Something similar to this, where it is below the 50-day moving average and the 200-day moving average, but it does have a buying opportunity. See what we have here. We have a 5-year treasury note. This is according to the commitment of traders, and I think it appeared here. So according to the COT, which is the commitment of traders, we have a 5-year note here, and it is doing very well, even though it had a crash session somewhere. Let me see if I remember. S Q. SLQ. Yeah, that's the one I was looking for. I think this is a better representation. Let's see what you have. Yeah. This is a corporate bond, which is crazy to me. Right? You don't want to buy that one. What you want is this one here. This is the one that Warren Buffett buys. The 5-year T-note futures. Chicago Board of Traders. Right? This is what you want. Let me see. I think it's on it's on this broker FX CM. The COT, see this is the commitment of traders board. So this is what what we're looking at, right? The 5-year treasury note, right? And you can see it was perfect. Now I'm going to show you something with the 5-year treasury note. Which indicator did it use? If you look at this, Monday, where's Monday? Okay, I think Monday is here. So this is the one that Warren Buffett buys. Okay, this is Friday, this is Monday. Okay, this is the one that Warren Buffett buys. Okay, so it appeared right here on a Monday. So so you can see right there there was a buy signal on the MACD, and then followed after that same buy signal on the MACD. We follow that with the bull bear power or rate of change. So you can see the bull bear power and rate of change switched about 2 days before that buy signal. It switched on a Friday. So on Friday, that's when it gave that buy signal. So the buy signal appeared right on Friday. Then Monday would have been the best time to enter on this platform. I think it's called FXCM. That's where you can trade the 5-year treasury note. So let me do this, because there are two 5-year treasury notes, right? There was the corporate bond, then there was the government bond. This is the government bond based on the COT, and this one was the best buy signal. 5-year treasury note, the best buy signal last week. But then again, I really just wanted to talk to you really about what do I want to talk to you about? I wanted to talk to you really about, technical analysis, and that's what my videos, they're all about. They are not really about showing you buying and selling signals, but just diving into themes of technical analysis using the screeners on TradingView. And that's why I liked this screener, because look, it had the candlestick pattern right here, bullish and bearish engulfing under the 50-day moving average. And this was something that I used to do in the beginning days of my technical analysis journey. This is something I used to do very, very often, and I faced a lot of backlash, even though I never really came to a conclusion. Let me see if we can do something similar here. Okay, see above price, below price. Okay, let's see what you have here. Okay, so again, the difference being we have kept it in between these two moving averages, isn't it? But we have added a gap right there. Okay, so you can see XRP has appeared, and I think we can buy XRP, can't we? Yes, I think we can. So basically the point of my videos is really to show you how dynamic technical analysis is. So in this case, I love this strategy where we're using the gap, but it's in between two moving averages. So it does kind of show some form of recovering. So we can try the same strategy in stock trading. Instead of using the pattern, we can use the gap. Well, let's do this. Okay, we have nothing in Dow Jones. Do you have anything in Nasdaq? Okay, we have a couple in Nasdaq. We have a couple in S&P. All right, I think we have a lot in S&P. So within S&P, we have, as you can see, Kimberly-Clark and Corporation, which has appeared again. Okay, so basically we're looking for a bounce, right? We're looking for a bounce from this point level. So remember, we're using the gap. Last time we used the chart pattern, and we only had this one here. But this time we're using the gap, and we have a whole list of like 12 stocks to consider. We have a list of 12 stocks to consider. So this, because what did I say? I said it should gap. In the black, 0% and above. Oh, can maybe 1% and above. Let's see, 5% and above. We have 0% and above. Okay. All right, fine. Oh, yeah. I think these are daily moves. But then I think the most interesting thing about this is if we look at the weekly pattern, ideally they should be still in an uptrend, right? So I think that's also something to remember, and also to excuse me, also to put in there, so that we remind ourselves that we want to trade patterns that have a strong weekly momentum. Okay, so we don't have a strong week here. Let me see what you have on XRP. How come we don't have a strong week? We do, but it's not reading as a strong week. Anyway, it's fine. Let me see what you have here. So yeah, that's what we're looking at, you know. I mean, we don't really have to put this there, I believe, you know. Let me see what you have here. I believe all of them are in strong weekly positions. I may be wrong, but that's my belief. All of them are above their 50-day moving averages on the week, despite the market crash on the day. So we have this move where it is up, it is down on the day, but up on the week, right? Even though there is a major correction on the week, it is an entry, a form of entry on the day. Okay, so we have that kind of correction, as you can see right here, you know. So it is kind of like a complicated strategy, right? but the best way the best the best example could be XRP, right, which is definitely a good is in a good buy position, I believe. So for this video, maybe what you could take from it is, remember, you want it to be up, to be the rocket booster on the week, right? The price should be above the 50 moving average and the 200-day moving average on the week, but on the day, right, there has to be a correction on the day, right? So what we're trying to do is catch the correction on the day. So I think I showed you that other strategy where we use the gap, and then the other strategy is, instead of using the gap, we can use chart patterns. Candlestick chart patterns, whether negative or positive. So in this case, I'll just select all, and then I would remove this. Okay, and we don't have anything in crypto, but ideally, maybe because the value is above $1, maybe if we reset that, maybe we'll have something. But as you can see, the idea is to have a correction on the day. So that's the idea I'm trying to show you, that even though it may be up on the week, we can have a correction on the day. And the challenge again with crypto is we're looking for a strong weekly buy, right? Now you know, crypto is a very, very, very dangerous world, you know, so it's not very safe. You know, I wouldn't even advise you to trade crypto, but the reason why I'm so confident in this XRP trade is because I know Bitcoin is in a correction. So the XRP is just an example, but you can tell even from this standpoint that these are good trades. Also, the one that I would love you to learn from is this one here. For you, 5 year, this one here, right here. Okay, so this is the one that Warren Buffett is famously known for buying, the 5-year treasury note, and it fits the rocket booster strategy perfectly, right? Because you know the price is above the 50-day moving average, and it's also above the 200-day moving average. So I hope you've learned a lot from this video. Take care, trade safe out there. Bye bye, and bye bye.